Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. And finally I got OneUI 7 on my S24 Ultra, and I gotta say that this is the most exciting OneUI update I have seen in years. So let me show you everything new. Just a quick reminder, all the wallpapers you see in this video or any of my other videos you will find in the Wallpapers by In-Depth Tech Reviews app, which you will find its download link in the description below. And now let's take a look at the new features. Let's start with the lock screen and always on display as usual, and here we have a massive number of new changes. Starting with the top left corner, you will see this new pill-shaped container that has all your notifications, and when you tap on it, this is how you can reveal them on the lock screen. And now let's go to the lock screen edit mode to show you even more. Let's start with the clock, and here we have a lot of new changes. First, the styling card is much more compact, so you can better see your lock screen. From here you can adjust the font, and in some cases you will get a slider to change the font weight like this. Then we have the color options. When you scroll all the way to the left, you have the ellipses. By tapping on it, you can install your own custom font and apply it to the clock. So let's choose this one and see what's gonna happen. As you see here, now I have this font style, but I cannot adjust the font weight. Now let's get back to one of the default options. Then we have the style tab, and from here you can choose a different clock style. We have brand new styles with OneUI 7. So let me go through them one by one to show you how they look. And I think this one looks the best. Then we have two toggles here at the bottom, one to show the weather next to the date, and the other one to change the date position to make it either above or under the clock. And finally, with OneUI 7, now you can make your clock much bigger to be almost half of your lock screen. A couple of things worth noting here. When you reposition the clock left or right, you will see this new guideline that will allow you to center it perfectly. Not only this, but if your clock is slightly smaller, now you can move it up and down, not only left and right like before. Moving to the widgets area, now you will see more options to choose from. And I think one of these new options is the gallery. Now you have the ability to show some of your photos on the lock screen. So let me show you how it works. When I tap on done, it shows the word start. When you tap on start, it will ask you to choose the photos you want to show on your lock screen. You can either select an album or certain images. So let me select an album, and here I'm gonna choose the camera folder, then tap on done, go back to the lock screen, and now you will see photos from this album showing randomly on your lock screen. The other new options I found here is the camera. Now you can add a custom camera button to your lock screen, and when you tap on it, it will allow you to adjust the settings exactly the same way as your home screen camera widget. Then we have device care that includes device care and optimize, digital well-being, app timers, and the screen time. We have the interpreter, which include 4 different widgets. We have modes and routines, secure Wi-Fi, and that's pretty much it. Moving to the lock screen shortcuts, now we have a circular design, and when you try to change it, you will see a brand new picker that stays in line instead of taking you to a separate page like before. And this is what happens when you scroll up or down. And when you try to use any of the lock screen shortcuts, we have this brand new animation that expands when you slide the shortcut like this. Now let's talk about the most exciting change in this area, which is the Now bar. This bar will show some of the running activities on your phone, so you can take quick actions from your lock screen. For example, if you are playing media, you can play and pause, skip tracks, and when you tap on it, it will expand into the full-size media controls along with the album art. And when you tap on it, it will collapse back again. From here, you can also change the media output. And I do really like the animations. As you see, they are very fluid and smooth. And if you want to jump to the relevant app, you need just to tap on the full-size card. On top of this, you have the ability to customize your Now bar the way you want by jumping to settings and then lock screen and always on display and then Now bar. From here, you can choose what to show in your Now bar by tapping on live notifications. The available options are the clock, voice recorder, emergency sharing, Samsung Health, interpreter, maps, Samsung Notes, and Bixby, and 2 separate toggles for music and modes and routines. Now let me show you some of these options in action. Let's say you want to record a voice memo in the Recorder app and then go to the lock screen. It will show you the live recording directly on the lock screen where you can pause, continue recording, and when you tap on it, it will expand to give you even more options. From here, you can stop, pause, and cancel the whole recording. You can either save it, discard, or cancel. And when you tap on it one more time, it will take you to the relevant app. And this is how it looks if you have a timer or a stopwatch running in the clock app. Unfortunately, none of the other options did work for me, but hopefully we will see them in future software updates. One more thing I want to show you here, if you have multiple things running in the background, you can swipe up to switch between them. And lastly, under the lock screen and the always on display, then always on display, you have the ability to show or hide the now bar. Now let's talk about the home screen. The first thing you can do here is to change your apps and widget styles. When you go to the home screen settings, you will see a new menu item here called App and Widget Style. When you tap on it, you have the ability to change the app icon size. And as you see here, the icon is now slightly bigger, or you can make it smaller like this, and then go back to the home screen to see the difference. We have the ability also to adjust the app labels. You can turn off the app labels and you will only get icons to get a cleaner home screen. And then we have the ability to also turn off the widgets labels. So for example, here I have a label for the widget, but if I don't want this, I can turn off the switch, and this is how it looks. Back to the home screen settings, and you will see another difference when it comes to the home screen grid. Now we have two options only. We have 4x6 and 5x6, and the same applies to the app screen grid. When it comes to folders, now you can make them bigger by tapping and holding on the folder and then tap on enlarge. This will allow you to immediately start the app from the folder without the need to open it first. And this is how it looks, and you can shrink it back like this. If you don't have enough space, it will not allow you to enlarge the folder. Samsung also updated the way we adjust the widget size. As you see, the handles are now different and they match the new handles we got on the lock screen. Customizing the folder also looks slightly different with this new plus button, and for reference, this is the old design. And lastly, the home screen got a much better layout in landscape view. The first thing you will notice is the app names are now showing under the icons instead of next to them like before. The dock is now fixed at the side instead of having it at the bottom, and this is how it looks when you scroll. So it's very clean and much better, and this is how the app drawer looks in landscape view. You'll notice here that those two buttons are now bigger and centered on the screen instead of having them at the top right corner, and the same thing applies here. The app names are showing under the icons. Moving to the recent apps screen, and you will see this new stack design that looks very different from the old one. Previously, the apps used to be side by side, but now you can only see one app at a time, and to see the next one, you have to scroll, and it has better animation than before, but other than this, it works exactly the same. It's also worth noting that if you are running two apps in a split screen view, when you tap on the icon, now you can add a quick shortcut to your home screen or the app's edge panel. So when you choose home screen, this is what you will get. Moving to the app drawer, it got a complete revamp with OneUI 7. It looks very similar to stock Android. Now you have the ability to drag your finger over the scroll bar to jump to a specific letter. You get vertical scrolling instead of horizontal, and the search bar is now at the bottom of the screen for easier access. Not only this, but you still can revert to the same old design as before if you want to by tapping on the ellipses and then tap on sort and then choose custom order. That's how you can get back to the previous design. The Wallpaper and the Style app got a small visual tweak. When you go to the AI wallpapers, you will see they now have a rectangular design instead of the square design like before. Now let's talk about the notifications shade and the quick panel, as they got a complete revamp. When you swipe from the top left corner or anywhere on your home screen, you will only see the notifications, but when you swipe from the top right corner, you will get the quick panel in full screen view. Not only this, but if you are already inside the notifications shade, you can swipe to the left to access the quick panel from here or the other way around. Looking at the notifications shade itself, you will see much bigger icons and redesigned containers, and this is how you can expand the notifications by dragging your finger. And if you have multiple notifications from the same app, they will stack on top of each other, and you will see a small counter with the number of notifications available, which you can also expand by dragging your finger. And now let's talk about the quick panel. With OneUI 7, Samsung changed the logic of the quick panel, and the things you see here acts like widgets. For example, this is the wireless controls widget. We have the rest of the controls that you can expand vertically like this. Then we have another widget which includes the volume and the brightness sliders. We have the media controls and another one for the smart things and smart view. And the reason I'm saying they are widgets because when you tap on the edit button, as you see, each container can be placed anywhere in the quick panel, so you can reorder things the way you want like this. And they act like widgets, but you don't have the ability to resize. One more thing you can do here is the panel settings and then notification and the quick settings view. You can group them together if you still prefer the old way of OneUI 6. And every time you swipe down, you will get the notifications, the quick shortcuts, the brightness slider. And when you give it another swipe, you will get back to the same full screen view. Back to the edit page, and this is how you can add more controls to your quick settings. As you see, this page looks completely different with OneUI 7. This is how you can add or remove. When you go to the panel settings, if you have the together option selected, when you tap on edit, you still have the ability to edit the shortcuts at the top, same as OneUI 6. And here you have the ability to show or hide the brightness slider, same as the media controls. If the quick panel is collapsed, then we have the separate option. And in this case, none of these settings will show up. And this is how it looks now. Now let's talk about the status bar, which got some notable changes. The first one is the new battery icon. It's now horizontal and the percentage shows inside to give more space. Not only this, but if you are doing certain activities like a timer, for example, now you will see a pill at the top with the counter, and when you tap on it, it will expand, same as the now bar, to take quick actions like pause and dismiss. And if you are doing multiple things, for example, if you are recording something at the same time and have the timer activated, when you tap on the pill and swipe down, you can switch between the two activities like this. And of course, most of the status bar icons look different when compared to OneUI 6. Now let's talk about the widgets picker, and you will see some changes here. First, the recommended section shows more options and it no longer has a title. Plus you will see this new 2-column design, which will give more space for more widgets to show in the same row, which wasn't the case before. Some of the widgets got a complete revamp, like the battery widget, for example. Now we have two different designs that are categorized differently. We have the circular design, which is new to OneUI 7, and a similar bar design to OneUI 6, but it has a different style. You will also see more widgets under the calendar, and when you expand, you will see the countdown category. Then we have month, today, and finally the upcoming events. The Smart Suggestions widget also got more sizes and a different look. Now let's talk about the new improvements in Galaxy AI on OneUI 7, and the most exciting one is the ability to use the writing tools anywhere in the OS without the need to use Samsung keyboard. So let me show you how it works. Let's say you came across an article and you want to summarize one of the paragraphs. All you need to do is to select the text like this, and you will find the AI stars here in the text selection tool. Tapping on it will automatically open the writing tools. From here, you can check the spelling and the grammar, change the writing style to something else, and you can switch between them and share. You can also summarize or convert the paragraph into bullet points. And finally, we have the composer. Or maybe you are trying to post something on social media and you are not using Samsung keyboard. You still can get access to the writing tools by simply selecting the text, and you will get the same options. Not to mention that the writing tools design also got updated to look much better than OneUI 6.1. The second change is the ability to record and transcribe your phone calls in the phone app, and this is how it looks. Unfortunately, I don't have access to this feature where I live, but this is a quick snippet on how you can use this feature, and it will also detect the speakers to give you this dialogue-like interface, which looks really nice. Now let's talk about the new features in apps, and I will start with the camera, which got a brand new layout. All the controls that we used to have at the top are now located under this new More button. Here you get access to the settings, flash, timer, the resolution, aspect ratio, and so on, but we still have a few shortcuts at the top right corner. Here you have the night mode toggle, and then the camera modes are now located under the shutter key for easier access, but previously they were above the shutter key. The exposure slider is also different. We no longer need to tap to focus to access it, but now it's located under the More menu, and here is how it looks. Not only this, but when you change the exposure in any camera mode and then go to another one, then get back to the previous camera mode, it will save your preference. Even when you quit the camera app like this and then go back to the same camera mode, it will keep the exposure the same. The enhanced 2x zoom is now the default option, and you no longer need to go to the camera settings to toggle it on or off because this toggle is now gone. Moving to the More tab, now you will see a more compact and reachable design with less space between the items. The Pixby Vision button is now floating over this card instead of showing at the top left corner like before, and we no longer have the AR zone option that used to be at the top right corner. We also got this new edit button that will allow you to reorder things the way you want. On top of this, you can reorder the camera modes. So for example, if you want the portrait mode to be after the photo mode, you can do this. But keep in mind, the OS is a little bit buggy. Previously, I was able to reorder everything, but now it's only allowing me to reorder the portrait mode. But normally you should be able to do it for all of them. Moving to the Pro or Pro Video modes, you will see more compact manual controls to match the new design language of OneUI 7. The Expert Raw app also got updated, and now you will see a toggle at the top right corner to change between RAW and JPEG. Also, the controls are also compact in this new design to match the other camera modes. The Viewfinder Leveler also got updated, and now it has a circular design. Plus, it will help you align your photo vertically and horizontally instead of only horizontally like before. Now let's talk about the new changes under settings. And the first one, when you access the settings from a specific camera mode, it will take you to the relevant section under the settings. So for example, when I go from the photo mode, now I have all the photo options. But when I go to settings from the video mode, it will take me right away to the video options. The second change is under the advanced video options, and when you scroll all the way down, we have a new toggle here called audio playback, which will allow music and the other audio to play while you record. So for example, if you are playing music on your phone and you want to record this music while filming a video, you can achieve this by turning on the toggle, but keep in mind this feature will not work when you use the 360 audio recording or a Bluetooth microphone. One more change under the camera settings and then general, the grid line toggle got replaced with a new menu called Composition Guide. From here you can choose between grid lines and level, grid lines only and level only, or turn off the whole thing altogether. So that's it when it comes to the camera. Now let's talk about the Gallery app, which got a brand new icon, and when you open it you will notice that the tabs now have icons instead of only names like before. The second change is the ability to create a free-form collages with videos in them. So let me show you a quick example. So I'm gonna pick this photo and this video and another photo and then tap on create and then collage and then go to the free-form option. And here you have the ability to adjust things the way you want like this, place them anywhere on the screen. And when you tap on the video, you have the ability to mute it and resize it like any other photo. Plus, when you tap on it and then tap on the scissors, you can trim your video the way you want, but keep in mind, you have a maximum duration of 1 minute. And this is what happens when you add the video. Not only this, but you can adjust other things like the background blur. You can choose a different background for your collage. And this is the blur intensity. Here we have the color options. You can use a solid color or pick from the color wheel if you want. And then we have the curvature of the photos and videos, and finally the aspect ratio. So let me show you how it looks when you save it. Now the collage is saved, and here is how it looks in your gallery. It will be saved as a video, and the video I added will automatically play with the ability to mute or unmute the audio, which is a very nice feature for social media. And when you go to the gallery settings and then photo editor settings, you will see a new toggle here called raw image editor. This one will show you a special editor for the raw images, and when you tap on edit, this is how it looks. It will allow you to adjust the highlights and shadows, or tap on auto to do the adjustments automatically. And once you tap on done, it will take you to the normal photo editor to finish your edits. When it comes to object eraser, now it will automatically select the suggested items to remove, so you don't need to do the manual selection yourself. In the video editor, now you have the option to undo or redo the changes you've made. And finally, in motion photos, we got two new effects to choose from. The first one is boomerang, and the second one is a slow motion, but it's a little bit buggy and it doesn't work sometimes. Now let's talk about the Recorder app, and it got a lot of the features we already have in the Google Recorder app. And the first one is the ability to transcribe your recordings. And once you open it, you have the transcribe option, and it gives you up to 20 languages. So in this case, it says English Australia. So I'm gonna tap on download and take a look at that transcript. Now the transcription is done, and as you see, we have also speaker labels, which is another feature we first got in the Google Recorder app. On top of this, you can summarize your recordings using AI, and this is how it works. Not only this, but now you have the ability to translate your recordings by tapping on this button and then choose the other language. If it's not already downloaded, you need to tap on add languages and choose from whatever you want. But let me try to translate into Arabic, then tap on translate. It will do the translation for the summary and the actual transcript itself, and both languages will overlay on top of each other. Now let's talk about the clock app, and if you have multiple alarms set and these alarms are related to each other, now you can group them to take bulk actions on all of them at once. When you highlight the alarms, now you have the group option. Tapping on it will ask you for a name. So let's try any name. And as you see, now I have a group of alarms that I can turn on or off all together, or I can go inside the group to turn individual alarms on or off. And when you tap on the ellipses and then alarm groups, you can also add a new group from here that you can fill later with more alarms if you want, like this. And if you want to rename or delete any of the groups, you can simply tap and hold on it and then choose delete, or you can go inside it, then tap the ellipses, then hit rename. Another neat feature added to the clock app, when you go to settings and then volume, now you have the ability to use the same volume for all alarms with the ability to set it directly from here, or you can set different volume for each one. Moving to the modes and routines app, when you go to routines and then hit the plus button, now it has the if conditional statement support, which will allow you to create much powerful routines on OneUI 7. We also got this brand new Discover tab, which will give you some suggested routines that you can immediately use and save yourself some time. You can tap on any of them to immediately use. Here you have the ability to edit, share, or save directly to your gallery. Next, the calendar app. The first exciting change here is the ability to move events between days by using the drag and drop gesture like this. As you see, I can simply move it between days without the need to open the event itself. And you have this quick undo button that will revert back to the original day. The second change is the ability to migrate all your calendar events from one account to the other, which is a very handy feature. To achieve this, access the side menu and then tap on Manage Calendars, then tap on the ellipses at the top right corner, then Move Events, and it will ask you to choose the From and To accounts, and then tap on Next to start the migration. And when it comes to widgets, we got this brand new cooldown widgets that will allow you to track a certain event and put it on your home screen. When you add it and then tap on it, it will show you all the upcoming events, so you can select one. Here it will allow you to change the event later if you want. You can show the count of days on the widget or choose a custom background if you want, and then hit save. And it shows here that 3 days are remaining for my test event. And lastly, if you have multiple calendar widgets on your home screen, now you have the ability to select which calendar to show. When you tap and hold on the calendar, you can tap on settings and then calendars to show. You can either choose between same as app or select a custom calendar. So you can deselect all the other options you don't want and then go back and hit save. Next, the Reminders app. The first change is the ability to repeat your reminders on multiple dates. So for example, when I open this one and then tap on edit, scroll down to the repeat section. When I tap on it, I can choose from any of these options. So let's say I want to repeat every month. It will give me some suggestions like repeat on the first Wednesday, or select certain date like this. For example, you can choose multiple dates if you want, and you can keep it forever or to a specific number of times. And in this case, you need to specify the times or until a certain date. Change number 2, when you go to your completed reminders, now you have the ability to duplicate it without the need to set everything again from scratch. And under settings, you will see 3 new changes. The first one is the ability to sync with Microsoft To-Do list. And this is how it works. And when you scroll down a bit, you can also set your default category from here. And finally, now you have the ability to automatically delete completed reminders after a certain period of time. You can choose between 1 month, 6 months, and 12 months. Next, we have the weather app, and here I'm going to show you 2 new changes. The first one, if you have multiple locations in your weather app, now you can label them to make things easier. All you need to do is to tap and hold on the location and then tap on add label. You can either choose one of the quick shortcuts or put a custom label yourself. So I'm going to choose home, and this is how it looks now. And if you want to quickly switch between locations, you can simply use the swipe gesture. The second change is the new activities section that will help you identify if the current weather conditions is good enough for certain activities like running, cycling, and more. And when you scroll all the way to the left, you have a settings button. Tapping on it will allow you to add or remove any of these activities. Now let's talk about the new improvements in the sharing department. And the first one is the ability to share files in Quick Share using a QR code or link that can be used to download files on any device, even if it's not a Galaxy. So let's say I want to share these 3 photos to my iPhone. So I'm gonna tap on share and then quick share and then tap on the QR code or link option. Then I will scan the QR code using my iPhone's camera, tap on the link, and I will get immediate access to the 3 files that I can download. So I can select all of them like this and then tap on download as individual files. And the download is started. So you can consider this as a cross-platform sharing option that can work on any device, even if it's a Mac, iPhone, or even a PC. This feature will also allow you to share files with your contacts regardless which OS they use and even if they are not nearby. You will notice here I have a new section called Share to Contacts. You can add more contacts by tapping on the ellipses and select whatever you want. So I added this one for testing, and when I tap on it, it says a text message containing a link will be sent to the recipient. Anyone with access to the link can access these files without your permission, and I already sent one before, and this is how it looks in my messaging app. Samsung also added this brand new recommended section, which will make it easier for you to pick the devices you usually interact with. Last but not least, I got this screenshot from the What's New in OneUI 7 wizard, and it talks about easily connect to nearby devices, check the devices available near you and connect to them with a quick drag and drop. You can also see available features and activate them for each device. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any detailed information about this feature online, and I couldn't activate it myself. So if you have any idea, please let me know in the comments. Now let's talk about the new improvements in the gaming mode. And the first one I'm going to show you is related to the game booster. When you open the gaming hub and then tap the ellipses and then jump to game booster, now you have the ability to adjust the performance of each game individually. So for example, when I go here, I have the 3 games installed on my phone. Let's go to Asphalt, for example. And when you tap on game optimization, you can choose between battery saver, standard, or performance. And then we have the maximum FPS slider. You can make it from 20 FPS all the way up to maximum. And then we have the screen resolution, which you can make it either 50% or 100%. And finally, the frame booster, you can turn this on or off. And once you are happy with the changes, you can tap on save. Samsung also improved the game panel, and you will see a floating chip here on the side. When you swipe to the left, it will float over the app without the need to go to a different screen. Here you will find all the toggles you might need, like touch protection, take a screenshot, record the screen, block edge panel, block auto brightness, and block Bixby. And you can edit this panel the way you want, like this. So let's get back to the game. And the other tab is called pop-up apps. So you can put any of these apps as a pop-up on the side while playing your game, like this. Now let me show you the new changes under settings. And the first thing I'm going to talk about here is the battery. Starting with the power saving mode, we got 3 new toggles with OneUI 7 to give more control. Set screen timeout to 30 seconds, turn on dark mode, set motion smoothness to standard, and you will also see this brand new categorization. Moving to the battery protection, when you choose maximum, now you have the ability to adjust your charging limit from 80% all the way up to 95 in 5% increments. The charging animation also got updated, so when I plug the charger while my phone is unlocked, you will see a new animation here next to the battery, and if the phone is locked, you will also get a new animation in the now bar. So that's it when it comes to the battery. Now let's talk about the sounds and vibration. When you choose the mute sound profile, now you have a new toggle called temporary mute. This one will automatically revert to the previous sound profile after a certain period of time. And when you turn on the switch, you can choose between 1, 2, or 3 hours, or pick a custom time from this card. Moving to security and privacy, you will find a new menu item here called Security Status of Your Devices. This feature uses something called Knox Matrix, which monitors supported devices signed in to your Samsung account using a secure private blockchain. Each device in the chain can check the security status of other devices and let you know if there is any threats. So these are most of the new features in OneUI 7, but let me also show you some new features here and there. The first one is the updated screenshot overlay menu. Now it has a translucent design which looks much better than before. The Smart Select feature also got updated overlay menus. So when you select something on the screen, you will see all the options are now exposed for easier access, and this is the only hidden one. With OneUI 7, you can also use your phone as a webcam, and it says here that this feature works with your tablet or Galaxy Book. I tried it with my non-Samsung PC and I couldn't find the webcam option under USB settings, same as my Pixel phone. So maybe Samsung is making this feature exclusive to the Samsung branded devices. Another feature that I couldn't get up and running is the access phone files from your PC. It says here storage share lets you browse the pictures, music, and the files on your phone or tablet directly from your PC without a USB connection. I tried to make this feature work, but unfortunately I couldn't find anything under settings. And lastly, if you have multiple pop-up windows open from the same app, when you minimize it like this, both apps will appear under the same icon. And if you want to open a specific one, you need to tap on the icon first and then tap on it again, and it will show you the two pop-ups so you can reopen them again. So that's pretty much it for today. Those are all the new features I wanted to show you in OneUI 7, and if I spotted more important features, I will definitely create a follow-up video. So please consider subscribing and hit the bell icon to get notified when it gets released. But for now, thanks so much for watching and see you in the next one.